What's going on, YouTube? Bhavesh, otherwise known as Bosky to many people out there. I would call myself an experienced motion designer. Have now decided in 2024 at the age of 40 to jump in and start making content about my motion design journey. I guess it took me a little longer than most people, but 2023 was kind of an eye-opening experience for me. So let's rewind back to February of 2023. That was actually the third time I've been laid off in the past 2 years since the pandemic started. I mean, it wasn't something I can control. It was budget issues, business decisions had to be made. I mean, it was pretty defeating for the most part. And I was getting kind of tired of looking over my shoulder for the next role and contract to hire. You know the deal if you're a motion designer out there. So instead of wallowing in my self-pity, yeah, that's right. I mean, even though I did for like maybe a week or two with what happened, I decided to use that downtime in a constructive way. I think this is the first time that I tried to kind of hone myself in and like say, hey, let's use this time better instead of, going the route of just watching Netflix all day, right? Or whatever, Hulu, whatever it may be. So I got the opportunity, a couple weeks went in, I came across this opportunity from the guys at Ravi.co, very talented individual guys doing motion and design. They are revolutionizing animation right now at this point, which what I think. I had the opportunity to jump into a project which they called the Motion Liftoff. It's an opportunity for a collective of us from around the world to work on a collaborative project. And with everybody's schedules and conflicting things, it became tough to kind of do that project. But it was in that project where I learned I was a really shitty designer. And let me break that down to you. So I was struggling in that project itself. It started off really fun. I was concepting with these guys, coming up with ideas, coming up with cool things in my head. But when it came time to storyboard, the stuff that I was going on in my head wasn't translating into my designs. And it's just like I could tell in their eyes when we review stuff, it was just like, what's going on, right? And so it became tough to kind of have confidence in the stuff that I was doing because I was doing so many revisions and so many different things. It was just like, it was miss after miss. And I was like, when are we going to stop missing? So, with that, I realized that, okay, I can't continue to just keep trying to force all these bad designs out. Even though if I kept doing it repetitively, I'd get better. I knew that, but I still wanted to have a little more foundation, I guess you could say. Even though I'd learned this 10 years ago, I still had lost so much of my ability to design because I worked as an animator for such a long time, working side by side next to a designer, not really having to do things. Like the extent of what I do was usually maybe break down stuff in Illustrator, getting it ready for After Effects, right? So I knew that I had to change something with my design capabilities. And so that's where the School of Motion came into play. I ended up signing up for the design bootcamp, and it was probably one of the best decisions I'd made. I think it helped me refine compositions. It helped me refine color. It helped me refine how to use type. It helped me refine a lot of things that I relied on other people to do and then just hand me out files. And I think that's what I was missing. I was missing that edge. One, I was missing that foundation. Without that, I felt like I can't really be creative. And this class really helped me kind of open that up. I learned so much about things that I learned new in Photoshop and Illustrator and things that I had known and just got to kind of use and refine. And I think that was the biggest thing. I just needed to kind of jump back in. I always worked well with the education aspect of things, getting taught something, applying it, and doing some homework. That repetitiveness I work well with. I think it's just the Indian in me, who knows, but whatever. But it ended up being a very, very good experience. Those 12 weeks were probably the 12 weeks that I actually kind of got to sit down and grind it out and do some of those videos were 3 hours long, some of the tutorials. So you really had to kind of sit through it. And what helped me was taking notes. I took notes rigorously, as you can see over here. And it's kind of helped me get back into taking notes. I probably think it's one of the best decisions I had made while I was unemployed. Yes, it was a little bit of a pretty penny, but as they say, it's an investment. So I just used it as something, looked at it as an investment. And they have payment plans now too. So you don't even have to chunk it all at once. You can break it up in 3 payments. So that actually worked out pretty well too. I think the whole reason is I feel like I'm starting over. I feel like my journey into design is kind of rekindling. I'm just getting back into it. And I kind of want to take you guys along with me on the journey. The motion chops are always going to be there, but now at least I can have some capability to design something and throw it into motion. So I have a lot planned for the channel. I'm going to break down each one of my homework assignments from the 12 weeks, and I kind of show you my approach behind it. What did I do? What was assigned to us? How did I do it? What did I do to get to it? I think it'd be cool for me to kind of put that out in there and just kind of use this as a channel to kind of show my design journey. So, you know, I hope you guys like what I show. You know, I'll have a bunch of other stuff coming up. You know, throw in some work stuff, related stuff. Maybe I might show you guys like what it is, like a day-to-day kind of for me working as a designer. So this is a completely new channel. So I'm going to be trying to grow it as much as I can. My TikTok will have similar content. My Instagram will have similar content as well. So I'm just trying to grow all my socials and just trying to kind of like show my presence as a motion designer and kind of build a bigger community of people. I think I've been kind of riding an island for too long since this pandemic, and I feel like I just kind of need to jump back in there, you know, build a community, show what I can do, show what I can't do, and that's okay, you know. With that, I'll say peace till next video. Oh yeah, fun fact, do you know 2 weeks into my School of Motion course, I got an offer from Snapchat, which I took, which I'm currently at. But we'll get to that later in the videos. I'll break all that down, the interview and everything. And I'm actually still interviewing, so shh.